What is up, Big Bear Nation? Welcome back to the homestead. Last night it got down to 28 degrees, but I'm hoping that last night was the last frost of the season, even though our official frost date is April 20th according to the Farmer's Almanac. So that means that it's planting time, right? It's time to take things out and put them out in the dirt. But there's a couple of things that I've been trying to be mindful of while we're getting ready to plant for the spring. And one of the biggest things is we grow primarily right now in raised beds. So the dirt's going to be the same year after year, and you have plants that will pull nutrients out of the soil. You have some plants that will put nutrients into the soil. So I'm always concerned about how healthy is the soil, how much nutrient does it have in there for the specific thing that I'm planting. The answer to that really is test your soil or give it some fertilizer. The thing about fertilizers is you have all of these commercial brands that essentially, they're made out of stuff. Some of it is organic, some is not. So you never really know what you're getting. Since our number one goal here on our homestead is to be sustainable, those commercial fertilizers are not. So I have been doing my best to try and figure out ways to keep our soil healthy and full of nutrients to continue to grow healthy food. Now, one of the things that you can do, obviously, is make compost, right? And we do that on our farm. We make compost. We also do leaf mold. We've done a video on leaf mold, and you can make your own bin, collect up your leaves in the fall, and make your own leaf mold to make compost. Another thing that we do here is we build our beds with hugelkultur in mind. So we put sticks and decomposed material, some leaves and stuff like that in the bottom before we top dress with our compost and composted manure, that kind of stuff. So we start by feeding the soil from the bottom, but that happens over years. But that's not all you can do. There are so many things lying around your property that you can use to be able to feed your soil. Now, on our homestead, we tend to use a lot of our weeds to feed our animals. We will pull chickweed and sorrel and plantain and all of those different things to feed to our animals. We can also take that stuff and put it into our compost bins, but we have so much of it, we'll never be able to give it all to the birds. So you can take some of your weeds, put it into a 5-gallon bucket, and essentially make your own weed tea, right? So we're just gonna take and pull up this chickweed, because it doesn't belong here, and we're just gonna put it into this 5-gallon bucket. And then I'm gonna also pick up some curly dock and some plantain, mix it all together, and then we'll put some water in it, fill it up to the top, cover it, walk away for about a week or so, and it'll turn this really nasty brown color. And essentially it's gonna look like compost tea and work about the same. So another thing that we have on our farm is chickens. Everybody knows that I'm the crazy chicken lady, or one of many crazy chicken ladies. And chickens obviously produce eggs. We eat the eggs. What do you do with the shells? Again, you can put the shells into your compost. Makes for great compost as it breaks down. What I found out was actually pretty interesting. Lime, which people use all the time to fertilize with, is like 90-something% calcium carbonate. Okay? That's also what is in eggshells. So don't go out and buy lime if you have chickens. Get your eggshells, break them up, get them all cracked up, and you can side dress your plants using your eggshells. I know a lot of people, because it's calcium, a lot of people will use the eggshells for their tomatoes to prevent blossom end rot. That's a great application for them. I know Jess over at Roots and Refuge has talked about taking an entire egg and planting it down at the bottom of a plant. But either way, the shells are really a great source of calcium to help build up your soil. So another thing that we do here on our homestead is we use coffee grounds. Now with the coffee grounds, we normally just put them into the compost bin. But you can actually use coffee grounds straight after they've been used to side dress any kind of crop that you have that likes acidic soil. So one that pretty much everybody's familiar with is blueberries. Blueberries love acidic soil. So one thing that people will do is they'll dress their beds with pine straw, pine needles. Now sometimes you can't get pine needles, so take your coffee grounds and you can actually side dress around your plant directly onto the soil, and as the water goes, that all of that acidic goodness will go into the soil. So this morning's coffee grounds going straight in. And the great thing about having mulch is that it will allow those coffee grounds to sit for quite some time. They won't get washed away. So another thing that you can use for fertilizer that out here on the homestead we have plenty of is grass. You can use grass clippings as mulch for your gardens. Put it about 1.5 inches to 1 inch thick on your garden as mulch. But make sure that the grass has not been like commercially sprayed or anything, doesn't have any pesticides or anything like that on it. And also be sure that when you're mowing the grass that it's not already it hasn't seeded out, because if you have seed and you put that back into your garden, you're going to end up with grass growing, right? During the summer is the best time because people are constantly mowing their grass to keep it down. So at that point, you're not really fighting seed issues. So we just recently mowed this area over here by the strawberries. So we can take those grass clippings and either put them into the compost, or we can side dress all of our plants with the clippings to be able to naturally feed the soil, but also to keep it mulched. Are you going to use that? You're not allowed to hit your sister with it. Now, because Jason and I recently started on paleo, we're having to eat a lot more vegetables and fruits. And one of the things that we really like is bananas. And bananas, while they are really good in potassium for us as humans, they're also really good in potassium for plants. So what you can do, there's two different things you can do. You can take the peel and literally just dig a trench and side dress your plants and just put it straight in there and let it decompose in the soil. Or you can start a jar of banana peels. We eat a lot of bananas. And just put it into a 1/2 gallon jar, and we'll go ahead and top it off with water and cover it with the lid and let it sit for a little while. Now this is one that we made a while back, and as you can see, I mean the bananas are getting pretty brown, but all of that cloudy water in there is good nutrients for the soil. You have potassium in there, I believe there's some calcium, some phosphorus, there's all kinds of good stuff in this water. So for those of you that aren't able to build compost in massive amounts, kind of like this, I'm hoping that this video helps you and encourages you to make your own fertilizer out of things that you have lying around the house. If you liked this video, definitely go check out our video on leaf mold bins. Jason shows you how to make your own leaf mold bin, and it's definitely a great fertilizer for your soil. Thank you for stopping by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless, and have a nice day.